Welcome back to SGE TV. We are excited to be here with you. This week we are going to start off with a little competition between advisors to test your knowledge about the SGE application process. Advisors, please pause the video now and record your advisor's answer in the Google form.
Okay, let's review. Question 1. What is the minimum number of days your SGE needs to be? A. 2, B. 4, C. 5, D. 7. I hope by now you all know your SGE needs to be a minimum of 5 days long. Let's move on to question 2. All the following are SGEs that will be accepted for credit except A. Job shadowing or reported at Action 5 News. B. Completing a legal internship. C. Attending a summer camp or a college campus. Or D. Babysitting for a family member.
The correct answer for this one is D. Remember, this year you might not complete an SGE that is affiliated with a member of your family. The goal of this SGE is to push you outside of your comfort zone. You can do that by completing your SGE with people and organizations outside of your family who you know well.
Lastly, question 3. How many hours do you need to volunteer at a minimum in order for your SGE to count? A. 5, B. 25, C. 35, or D. 50.
The correct answer is C. You must volunteer for 35 hours in order for your SGE to count. Alright, that's enough review. So that we are ready to dive into the SGE application packet with you.
That's right. For some of you, the SGE application packet is going to be totally new to you. Some of you have applied before, but it has taken about a year since you applied to SGEs. So the purpose of today's episode is to walk you through the application packet so that you will be ready to apply when you find the SGE that's right for you.
You participated in SGEs last school year. You used a half sheet interest form to show your interest in applying to certain SGEs. In order to remove one step in the process, we are going to shift to advisors listing student names in their advisor tracker.
What? As a student, how do I make sure that Ms. McCain, SGE director, and my advisor know that I want to apply to a certain program?
Each Wednesday, you will have the opportunity to take an application packet for the advised programs. When you choose to take an application packet, your advisor will document it in their advisor tracker, which is shared with Ms. McCain. This will let Ms. McCain know to follow up with each student.
Oh, I see. But as a student, it's still my responsibility to make sure I advocate for myself and ensure that my SGE interest is documented each week, right?
That's right. You can also share that you want to and are planning to apply to a non-advertised SGE, meaning one that wasn't on the weekly commercials, by checking in with your advisor and asking them to list your SGE of interest in the tracker.
Alright, let's move on to the cover page of the application packet, the application worksheet. This page is really helpful overview of everything you need to do to complete your application.
Yep, start out by looking at the top. You will see the official deadline for the application. This is the last day it can be submitted to the program. Your personal deadline is earlier than the official deadline. Shoot to submit by your personal deadline sometimes. It gives you an advantage to submit a complete application early.
Underneath the deadlines, you will see all of the parts that are needed to submit a complete application. For example, if you look at the MMI application, you will need 2 short essays to complete your application.
Some applications may have an application checklist. As you complete your application, you can check out what steps you have completed on this checklist. The backside of the application worksheet also gives you space to plan how you are going to complete all of the required application pieces. In the future, you might see there is a calendar included in your application packet. The calendar is a helpful way to visually see when all of the deadlines are due. For example, if I'm applying to MMI, I could set personal deadlines for when I need to complete my essays. Mrs. McCain will list when Media Lab workdays are on this calendar as well.
After the calendar comes a copy of the paper application. However, some applications are only found online. Student and advisor, it is a good idea to always write a rough draft of your application on your paper before submitting it. The way you can proofread it for any errors.
There is nothing worse than seeing out typos and errors on the application. There is a surefire way to disadvantage your SGE application.
The paper application is often where programs write their essays. Question 2. In some applications, you will see on a separate sheet of paper, please explain in 500 words or fewer why you want to be in the program.
Now hold it right there. 500 words for an SGE? Darren, are they serious? I am not doing it.
Yeah, that's a lot simpler than it seems. No need to freak out. Do you know that 500 words is roughly the same as about 2 paragraphs that are like 5 or 7 sentences long? It sounds like a lot of words, but you probably write more than that on all of your do nows in each day.
Huh? I didn't know that. I must be writing thousands of words each day in my classes and not even realizing it.
Exactly. Most SGEs will ask you to write a response of 250 or 500 words. Don't freak out. That's a regular paragraph or 2 at the most.
All right, I am glad we have all of your wisdom with us to help us break down these SGE short answers.
And I have even more good news. When you flip the page in your SGE application packet, you will see the next page of the packet is an essay and short answer brainstorm sheet. This is where you can plan your essay.
That's right. The hardest part of writing a short answer or essay is getting started. If you are feeling stuck, simply use this step-by-step essay brainstorm to guide you to get started. Advisors, this is the great place for all of your students to begin when starting an SGE application. If a student gets stuck, you can always guide them here first.
The final page in your packet are the teacher and counselor recommendation form, as well as your transcript request form. Typically, they would look like what you see on the screen. Make sure you put your name on these forms so your teacher and counselor would know who they are writing about.
I want to take this opportunity to introduce some people who are responsible for your recommendations and transcripts. Meet Mrs. McCain. Mrs. McCain is the coordinator of SGEs, and she is also the person who will write your counselor recommendations. Many of you know Ms. Ragland as a school counselor, but for the purposes of your SGE applications, Mrs. McCain is responsible for writing your recommendations. Mrs. McCain, along with other staff, are also responsible for creating and sending off your transcripts. You can reach Mrs. McCain at her email address, mccain@tscsmemphis.org.
Also, submit any complete application to the SGE bin in the CAS office. That's about wraps up our discussion of the application packet. Thanks for watching.